Alright, in this video I wanted to revisit something that came out during, I think it was Mogloween in the limited time shop. Maybe it was in the quest, I'm not for sure. But it's basically this weapon here. It's horrible art-wise, but it is one of the most powerful spellcaster weapons in the game. I'm going to show off the Underworld Archfiend first. It works on earth spells, so what we have here is basically the built-in 4-hit earth spell here, and it's going to do both poison and burn. And then, so I've got it toggled on. It does, I think, poison by default, and then you toggle it to the burn mode, and it'll do both. But the Underworld Archfiend on earth spells or whatever does bleed, so you're going to get multiple DOTs at once here. So basically, as you can see, 1.8 bleed, a 10 power burn, and a 10 power poison. So we go from 3587 down to 1800 damage on the shadow break-in just in one turn in DOTs. That doesn't even count what we just did in spell damage. The bleeding was the same, so we have even more burn and poison. So I'm going to do the same thing here, and then I'm going to pivot so I can get earth to a little bit better. Let me just do this real quick. Let's see. So the spell does pretty decent damage considering it's taken a hit to its overall damage. It's one of the reasons why I like the Underworld Archfiend is you're getting the DOT damage on top of the... Here, let's just do this. Just to make it simple. Wanted to do like a celerity turn, just to kind of show off what kind of power this thing's going to be giving here. So let's see. So we're at 20 power on those both of those things, and a 3.6 power bleed. So the combat practice trainer will have 5872, and then just dropped to 2435. So 5872 to 2435 is basically 3400 damage in just the first turn in DOTs. Alright, so now that's pretty strong, but it's purely offensive in nature. Some people may not look at the DOTs as an offensive thing, but I look at it as still offense. It works because it's like against damage caps. You have a poison, a burn, and a bleed, so those are all individually hit. Then you have the spell from the armor, so that's 4 hits. So you're getting at least 7 hits. If you're a Lucky Beast Mage, you'll get your hits from your pet and guess, so it adds up pretty quickly. Now, like I said, I'm going to pivot to something that I think is maybe overall a little bit more powerful. So now we're going to bring in Soul Neko. So I've got all the toggles on. You've got your luck and your charisma, and then you got your burn and bleed. So you're doing more burn and bleed here based on pet and guess damage. These armors are naturally block heavy. They have high MRM. So instead, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and cast Mandate. So I'm going to go ahead and let's do Shadow Feeder here as well. And the reason why I think this might be a little bit more powerful overall is because of the defensive capability that's going to go along with the offense here. So basically I have 50 blind, have some choke, 12.5 burn poison. You get the enhanced pet and guess damage, and then didn't even block. Alright, so we're basically at 71 dodge, so it should pretty much block here. And then using the Zalco shield, you should get enhanced bleed there. So let's go ahead and go over here to the practice trainer again. And let's just showcase what we can get just in one cast. So let's just look at the practice trainer. 79.69, it misses, and it just dropped by 1300. So it's not going to be as damaging as Underworld Archfiend, obviously, but this is going to be far more defensive. But because Soul Neko is, that one was like 2500, so we went 1300 to 2500. So Soul Neko with the plus 50 luck, and you're using the Optico here, you're basically up to 350 luck. It's really enhancing your ability to inflict. So this is turn 3, so all 3400 damage. So the idea here is use Prime Chaos Orb, move basically Earth to a better resistance. See if we can find a somewhat decent monster here. So Earth is 115, so we'll get a better idea here how this will work. I'm going to use Arcane Amplification both for more accuracy and more potence. And we should be able to land everything. So let's see what happens. 1956, so let's see, that's down to 1827. Miss, and then all 1800 damage. Or all 1800 hit points from the Paladin. Artillery monster is gone. So basically, you're trading a little bit of offense for some defense. Another thing you can do, since this particular, the no drop one, at least seeks between Earth and Light, you can also use Prime Chaos Orb to make sure Earth is bigger than. And this acts a little strange. It'll inflict the burn, but then it'll turn right around and remove it. So I think it's enhancing, it's auto enhancing the free spell. As you can see, there's no burn that's there. So it's burning and then it gets removed. The bleed gets removed as well. The bleed is bugged on Soul Neko, so it won't actually affect the Eater skill too much. So the burn from the weapon is automatically enhancing. You don't have to wait a turn. But that weapon right there, I think, is probably one of my favorite as far as what it does. It's something that I think if somebody cloned to a different element one day, it'd be a fantastic thing to use. But that's it for this video. I just wanted to show off a couple of the setups that I use with that weapon and how much, basically how much total damage you're going to be able to do. Kind of one with the more defensive setup, one a little bit more offensive setup.